Disclaimer. If you get queasy with blood, or guts, or gore, or mosquitoes, or scratching, or the Avatar movie, you would want to skip to this timecode, which will be said in a different voice in just a second, because I don't know what the timecode's going to be.
Skip to 8 minutes 20 seconds. Welcome, listeners, to Crossing Borders, a podcast not about immigration. I am your host, Josh, also known as Mythic, and this is my co-host, Sid, also known as Squidney. Grab your passport and join us for episode number 4, where we'll be talking about measuring inconsistencies, or also known as, I'm sorry, how long? But first, let's catch up with each other's week. So, Squidney, or Sid, how has your week been? What's up?
My week's been pretty good so far. It is the beginning of the week, but I do have a story.
Ooh.
Although technically it's my brother's story, but I was there, so it counts.
Okay, sure.
It happened earlier today. So we went to a skating rink. So for those of you who don't know, it's rollerblading, roller skating. Essentially, you put on shoes with wheels on them and go ice skating, but on wood with wheels.
I know that.
And so we went around in circles as one does. Then the place I went to has like, oh, we're going to play a song, and all the girls go, we're going to play a song, and all the boys go. They do things like that. And one of the things they did was a race. And so they're like, okay, everyone clear the ring.
Wait, I can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're like, everyone clear the ring, and we're going to do ages up to 8 to go, And then they race, and then they give the first girl and first boy a little ticket for a free drink, like a free soda, whatever they want to buy.
Ooh,
yes.
Very kind.
And then they do after a bunch of age range. And my brother, they were like, okay, we're going to do 14 to 16. He's like, huh, I'm going to go up. I would not be surprised if he hadn't skated ever before today. So that was interesting. But he was like, I will do it. And he goes up, and he's the only guy up there, so he automatically is going to win.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah. And he goes, but he gets second place overall. And he gets his ticket. And then after he wins, after the race is over, he goes 10 feet and tries to stop, and then just face plants on the ground. It was very comedic looking.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and so he comes back, and we're like, oh, good job. Are you okay? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And we're like, oh, you're bleeding from your chin. And he's like, oh, really? And he touches it, and there's blood.
Ooh.
And
play it off, or walk it off, or just...
Yeah.
Or did he panic?
He might not have noticed. I don't know. There's a good chance of that. Then we were like, okay, you should go clean up in the bathroom, And so he goes and cleans up a little bit, cleans off some of the blood from his face. It wasn't a lot of blood. It was just like a little patch about the size of, I don't know, order.
Okay.
Or if you're looking at the screen, about the size of 2 Discord icons,
All right.
When you're in a call.
I see.
Very precise measurements,
Clearly.
I just thought we'd warm up for the episode. Anyways, so he comes back, and now that he's cleaned off some of the blood, you can see that there is a gash in his skin, and it was so deep.
Uh-oh.
I was surprised it wasn't bleeding more, honestly. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I feel fine.
That's not good at all.
But it was about 1 caterpillar long and a whole thimble deep.
Oh, no. No. That's bad.
And we're like, okay, I think we should go home now. We've been here for 3 hours. I think we're good. And so we go in the car, put some medical tape, and then go and put some cleaning stuff on it. And
but I'm sure a bandit will fix that, just face down there. It's good. You're good. You're good to go home.
No, right now he has 3 little strips of medical tape holding it shut, and then a Band-Aid across it to keep any blood from getting in on anything. But yeah, that was fun. And the whole time I'm like, okay, what's your mother's maiden name? What year were you born? What's my maiden name?
Just checking if he still remembers stuff. Okay.
Yeah. You see in those dramas, those medical dramas, they're like, okay, don't go into the light. Here, we're going to shine a light in your eye. And, oh no, his pupils are dilated. Oh no, he's going into shock. But no.
No.
He was fine. Other than, of course, bashing his chin open.
That's good to hear.
He got a free drink, so.
Yeah, I guess that was worth it for the free drink.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
What about you?
Me? This happened yesterday, actually. I was watching a movie with my family, right? And we were watching, I believe it was the first Avatar movie, because we have never watched it. I know, it's bad, but we've never watched it. So we watched it for the first time.
I've only seen it once. So.
Yeah, yesterday. That's the first time I've seen the movie. And where I live, there's a lot of mosquitoes, right?
Yeah.
Mosquitoes this is their kingdom, basically. They are the ones who rule. Them and cockroaches are the two bugs that rule where I live.
Yeah, we talked about that a few episodes ago.
Which is not good. Yeah, not good at all. And if you
No.
remember what happened to the cockroaches a couple episodes back, did not end well. Same with the mosquitoes. So
No.
mosquitoes, they sometimes bring DBD, right?
Mhm.
Which is a sickness, but some most of them don't. And we're watching TV outside, not we don't have fancy TV in our bedrooms. No, just have like a family TV outside. We open the doors or open the windows mostly through morning until evening.
Yeah.
But when it gets to evening, mosquitoes start appearing, and they get in the house, right?
Danger.
And it's hard to kill them all. Sometimes you can catch them with your hand, but not really. And then you use these like electrical swatters, but they break after like 3 months, and they break, and you spend another money. Like, it's too lazy. Sometimes you just like endure the pain, right?
Yeah.
So
I just let them eat me alive. No, I'm just kidding.
they bite us, and it swells and it's itchy and blah blah blah. But we endure it because we sort of enjoy the movie. I got sleepy in the middle, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy, when it's itchy, I'm gonna scratch it till it stops itching.
Oh,
So-
no.
So I was scratching and scratching and scratching, and it's while watching the movie on the sofa. And
You're making me itchy.
After- after a while, I was wondering, why is it like cold and wet on my foot? Like, what's happening here?
Oh, no.
I didn't realize. I didn't feel any sort of like immense pain or anything. I just looked down and was like, oh, that's not good. So I stood up.
My foot's missing.
I stood up, grabbed some tissue or paper towels, I guess what Americans say, and
Yeah.
wiped the blood off. Because it was pouring blood down my foot, like on my leg at least. There was a lot of blood because it's probably little, but since we're scratching, like it's like spreading the blood around.
Yeah.
So I cleaned it up. Like, okay, that's not good. All right, back to watching. But then the mosquito bite my other foot. So I scratch.
I haven't walked since
And
then.
then, it's it's wet again. I wonder what happened. Oh God, it's bleeding. It's like pouring blood down the line. It's like, okay, better get the tissue again. Just wipe it off.
Wipe it up. Yeah, I'm the kind of person who, when I get a mosquito bite, I'm like, I really, really want to scratch it, but I know I shouldn't, and so I just ignore it somehow. I don't know how. I didn't used to be able to do it.
I couldn't ignore. It's just too hard. More mosquitoes came in, right? So
Yeah.
one was biting my face, one was biting my neck, one was biting my arm, and it was just unbearable. So we stopped the movie and we just went to sleep.
Oh, nice.
That's about it. That's yesterday, I guess.
We both got blood stories. We'll put a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. That's like, if you're queasy with blood, skip the stories. We'll post a time code.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you're editing this episode, you'll do that. I'll just relax here.
You're editing this
Whatever.
episode.
No, you're editing this episode.
No, this is the 4th episode.
Oh wait, this is. Oh, all right. I guess I'll do that. Never mind. Anyway,
I can do a disclaimer right now if you want.
Sure.
Disclaimer: if you get queasy with blood or guts or gore or mosquitoes or scratching or the Avatar movie, you would want to skip to this time code, which will be said in a different voice in just a second because I don't know what the time code's going to be. But
All right.
yeah,
Wonderful.
perfect.
Anyway,
Anyways.
let's jump right into. I was waiting for you to talk. Let's just jump right into.
Measurements. Imperial system. Measuring using
Metric system.
the length of a mouse.
Oh no. Okay. So let's talk. I'm so annoyed of Imperial systems. I just can't. It's like, it's, I can't fathom it. Like, someone's foot is for. Whose idea was this? Whose foot are we using?
It really makes sense. Think about it. An inch is a pretty standard length,
No, it's not.
and then 12 of those makes a foot, which is also a pretty decent length. Then 3 of those makes a yard,
Whose foot?
okay? And also,
Whose yard are we using?
and then you see
No.
the most round number, like the perfect number, 5,280. That's how many feet are in a mile, you see. So you go a mile, you go 5,280 feet, which
No, no,
5,280
no,
feet.
no. Why? Centimeter, right? 10 centimeters makes a decimeter. 10
Yeah.
decimeters makes a meter.
Yes.
10 meters make a hectometer. So
Yeah.
it's so much simpler. Why is
Are you
Imperial?
telling me you can't do simple math? 12, 3, 5,280? Simple numbers, really. Very consistent, too.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the origins of this imperial system, right?
Okay.
It's probably like someone measuring. Okay, that guy's foot looks good. Let's make that the measuring.
That
system.
guy's foot is pretty good length. No, so it originated in Europe, as most weird things do. No offense, Europeans.
Mhm,
Stay
mhm.
followed. I love you. Not in a weird way, of course, but Anyways, so it started. They needed a measurement system. So the length of a inch, I believe, was supposed to be the length of your finger, which is I don't know anyone's finger who's an inch long, so I have no idea how that ended up the length of an inch. They must have really
Yeah,
small fingers.
must be.
And then a foot is obviously the length of a foot, although that's a pretty big foot. So
Very
I don't
big.
know whose
Very,
foot
very big.
was a foot long. I mean, some of my shoes have been a foot long, but not my foot. You know,
Like imagine the one that was decided as the measure. Okay, that guy, he has small fingers but really big foot.
really long feet.
So his fingers will be the inch, and then the foot will be the foot. You know?
Yeah, I have no idea
Imagine
how a
being the-
mile came to be. I can Google it real fast. How did miles come to be? 1,000 pace. Okay, it was supposed to be 5,000 Roman feet.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh goodness me! No, no, no! Oh, why?
So I guess it was involved with a foot.
It was with
but,
it's imperial. Is it
yeah.
is the foot like the Caesar's foot or like I don't know the king's foot or whatever?
It was eventually a king's foot. So after everyone's like, okay, like imagine this scenario. You go to buy some rope, okay? And this guy, it's Bigfoot, literally Bigfoot, hairy guy that you get really low quality cameras of in like Montana or something.
Yep.
And he's like, hey, I want to buy some rope. I want 3 feet. And for him, 3 feet of rope is like 12 meters, because he has massive feet.
Yep.
And then they come out. They're like, okay, we'll go get you 3 feet of rope. They come out with rope that's about like the length of a hamster, because I'm American, so I use weird measurements. And then he's like, hey, this ain't 3 feet. And then he's like, oh yeah, look back here. And they look, and their feet measurer guy is like he has just really, really short feet.
Oh.
Like. And so that's a really gross thing about. But you can see why that would cause issues, having inconsistent sizes.
To be honest, we gotta be careful talking about feet here because some people might have the wrong idea of what
guys,
this podcast is about.
It's all very gross feet, okay? No cute feet.
This podcast is about me learning about American stuff and Squidney learning about Indonesian stuff.
Indonesia.
Because we have very different stuff happen. This is an international podcast, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, read the description.
And you listeners who live in like Qatar or somewhere like that, you guys get to learn about both, and it's great.
Yeah.
But anyways,
and you should definitely hit follow or subscribe on YouTube,
follow and
on
subscribe.
Spotify,
Yeah.
Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening, wherever you are, whenever it is.
Yes.
Go hit follow, hit subscribe, and hopefully enjoy the content. Anyways, I have watched a brief video of how a meter came to be.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a fun story. So
isn't it like French something?
Back in the day, here. Let me tell
Way
the story, boy. Back in the day, the French were like, these measuring systems are, that guy uses his foot, that guy uses his glass, that guy using his inch or whatever, that guy using his backyard as a measurement. This is so confusing.
And parsecs.
Yeah, different people are using different measurements. So let's make one that works for all. So they sent two French guys, to measure or decide what will be the perfect measuring system that can be applied in all the world, right? Because an American foot is different from an Indonesian foot. Like you
Yes.
guys have very big foot. I am
We have chunky feet. Ugly
smaller
feet,
foot.
too.
Oh no.
For everyone listening.
Oh no. Anyways, they need to find something that works as a universal measurement. So they decided that, hey, yeah, you know where we live on, what we stand on right now, and the other guy goes like, oh yeah, the Earth. You mean we'll use the Earth for measurement, and the other guy's like,
Oh,
well, how do
crazy.
we do that? How do we measure the Earth? And it's like, okay, so you see, Earth is more or so a circle. It's not a circle. It's a bit of an oval, but if we imagine it on a 2D plane, we'll assume it's a circle. And if we take a fourth of or a quarter of the circumference, which was around the area or the length, which was in control of the French, or like French was in control of, so they can measure that long.
Yeah.
In the areas they have conquered. And they sent these two scientists, so they are using like these binoculars and measuring triangle systems to basically map out from the top, as long as the quarter of the circumference of the Earth. So they use a lot of triangles, use sin cos tan, trigonometry, Pythagoras to basically find the circumference of the Earth,
Yeah.
at least a fourth of it, and divide that all up into equal sections. That is called a meter. This project took them years, obviously, because at the time you can't just like drive a car or fly a drone. They have to actually walk and set up measurement stuff.
They just Googled how many meters is the Earth's circumference. I think that's what we're going to use for our meter measurement. Yeah.
Right, of course. So they divided it
Those
up
internet's always existed.
into these lengths called meters, and
Yes.
somewhere in the process when they're like distributing the measurement to their leader, like, hey, we found it. This is the perfect measuring system. We need to spread it out to all the countries, so all of their other places basically use their system, right? Except the pesky Americans, of course, as you can probably tell. They're like, oh,
Like, nah, we're gonna not
we're
do
gonna
that.
not use the easier system. We're gonna use our own hard and inconsistent system. So we're unique, you see.
Yeah.
And there you go. And so your country and a couple more stayed with the Imperial, and most switched to metric. But here's the thing, the interesting thing at least. Somewhere within the calculating process, one of the scientists discovered that the meter that they discovered was actually just a tad bit too short.
No.
It was just like a few millimeters too short than an actual meter.
Oh, that's funny.
Right. But a couple millimeters, if added up into a long, it becomes like a huge error, right?
Yeah.
But he decided, like, I'm going to write that in my diary, in my own journal, and not tell anybody, because this project has took them so many years.
These
to
guys are
complete.
all bad at math, and I'm not going to tell them.
I'm going to stay quiet and just roll with the a little bit too short meter. And there you go. You got the meter, and they have an actual like guide in terms of like there's like an actual item that is the length of 1 meter stored in a vault somewhere. By the way, check out our Vault Hunter series in YouTube. Go check it out in the description down below.
Indubitably.
It's like in an actual vault.
Shameless plug.
Same with like
Yeah.
gram, I believe. Gram and what's the other thing? It's like
Liter.
there's a block literally measured at a gram, and that's like the what's it called? The guideline for all other stuff measuring at a gram. It's literally stored in like a vault somewhere. I forgot. There's like a whole history about it, which was interesting.
Huh. Interesting. Well.
So let's talk volume. Whose cup are we using? Whose cup are we using here?
That's a good question, because I don't even know how the units, the imperial units in proportion to each other.
Yeah, like, okay, use 4 cups of this stuff. I'm like, am I using the same cup as the the recipe book is telling me, like when I'm cooking, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, 1 tablespoon. What tablespoon? Like I have so many types of spoon. Like there's big ones. Which one is the tablespoon? You
Well,
know?
there's a tablespoon and a teaspoon as well.
And yeah, and there's a teaspoon, which I bought teaspoons, and 1 teaspoon with the other holds different amount of water or liquid in it. I'm like, eh? I'm sorry? How much?
Yeah, it's great. Isn't it like the smartest thing you've ever seen?
It's so smart. I cannot comprehend it. It's brilliant. Totally brilliant.
Yeah, 1 teaspoon is about the third of a tablespoon.
Oh, I thought it
Um,
was half of a tablespoon.
I don't know. I just Googled it
Have I been lied to?
because I don't actually know.
Oh, right. Of course.
Yeah, Google's always right. And then like a gallon, which is how much you buy milk for at the store. That's obviously what it's based on.
Gallon. Gallon's an interesting topic. Okay, so here in Indonesia, we buy mineral water, right? And water system. If you have listened to last episode, which was about climate change and how dirty Indonesia's water is, floods to fires or fires to floods. I forgot which one we titled it.
Never heard of that episode.
Yeah. If you have never heard of it, make sure to go check it out
Episode 3.
in our episode list. Anyway, Indonesia's water is dirty, right? So we don't really drink out of the tap water. It's bad for your health.
Yeah.
There's actual living mosquito larvae in there.
Ooh, fun.
A lot of germs. Not good. So we buy these big mineral bottles, basically, but they're called gallons or galon in Indonesian, galon, which is these huge bottles, which is actually measuring. I've looked it up here. It measures around 5 US gallons. That's our gallon.
And you're getting on my case about being weird conversion.
Yeah, that's what I was complaining about. So it's like these, because as a kid, right?
Yeah.
You learn from stuff around you,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear stuff from TV. Like I remember watching Tank, which was a show in Discovery Channel, I believe.
Yeah.
About people making aquariums. And there's like this small aquarium they built, right? And they're like, this aquarium totals to 25 gallons. I was like, how big is that? Is my eyes lying to me? How much water is in there? Because remember, one of our gallons like 5 US gallons.
Impressive.
So that's a lot of water. That's why I was like, 25 gallons in that one tank? Am I dumb? Is my perception of water and volume weird? How big is that tank,
Are they dumb? What is happening?
Yeah, what is happening right now? And I discovered, there is another smaller, inferior US gallon. Okay, I see.
I mean, at least they're not measuring it in like tablespoons.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
39,000 tablespoons of water.
39,000 tablespoons. But yeah, I Google it. 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon. 4 tablespoons is a quarter of a cup. 16 tablespoons is a cup. Why didn't they just put that? Okay. 2 cups is a pint. 2 pints is a quart. And 4 quarts is 1 gallon.
Wait, what's a pint? What? I never heard of that.
Pint is 2 cups or half.
I've heard of a pint of beer, but like what? Pint?
It's an eighth of a gallon, my guy.
Oh.
The only place you ever see it is like, hey, I'll have 1 more pint of whiskey. Oh, the finest brew of the land, Not that I would know.
I hate that about Imperial system. Oh, you want this table? You want to cut this table? You need to cut this exactly 1/8 of an inch. Why? Why? Oh, I hate it so much.
Oh yeah, we do 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/16 inch, 32nd.
Yeah. It's so annoying. Like at least in millimeters, right? For like, okay, you just need to shave off 3 millimeters. I can use a ruler. I can mark it 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
It's like 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters.
Yeah.
Which is why can't it be 2.5? Just round it off. It would have been better. It's also a very small finger. It's so annoying.
You haven't even heard of a smoot yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
A smoot.
What in the world is that?
It's the It's the height of Oliver Smoot in 1958, which is about 170 centimeters.
So
Or a sheppy. A sheppy is about 7/8 of a mile, which is it's the closest distance where sheep remain picturesque. You know, essential distances.
why? Who made these measurements? They make me
I
so
don't know.
angry.
If we're talking volume, then we could do the barn megaparsec, which it's pretty big. It's when a barn is multiplied by a megaparsec.
What are these measurements, man? Oh, they make me so angry.
It's about 2/3 of a teaspoon.
Okay, if I'm cooking, right?
Hmm?
At least if it's like I'm always usually looking for recipes in metric system because I'm just always so confused if it's like in Imperial. Like, okay, 3 cups of sugar. Okay, I have this cup which is small, but this other cup is big, and then this cup which is just a plastic cup. Is that 1 cup? Or is that big cup right there 1 cup? Or is it the small cup 1 cup? It's so confusing. And then we have like
Yeah, it's fun.
3 tablespoons of what? Olive oil or something. It's like,
Yeah.
is this the table? Is that a table? Is that a tablespoon? Or is that a tablespoon? Is this a tablespoon? I'm not quite
Which
sure.
spoon do I use? Tell me.
Yeah, like it's so
I have this
confusing.
3-gallon spoon, and I have this tiny little baby spoon that holds 3 grains of rice. Which one is it? Hmm? Tell me, please.
Like, if I have, if it's on metric, right? Okay, you need
Yeah.
exactly 180 grams of sugar. I know how much sugar to pour into my bowl, which is on top of like an electric scale. It tells me how many grams of sugar I have. It's so much more precise. I'm just so I get so angry when discussing this.
Grams.
So frustrating.
We use pounds and ounces because we are cool.
Pounds is like what? It's 2.
How much? 1 pound, 2 grams. Okay, maybe not grams, kilograms. It's a pound is 0.45 kilograms, roughly.
So around 2 pounds is 1 kilogram.
Yeah.
But not exactly. It's like 0.9 kilograms. Not exactly.
Yeah, roughly. But and
so
then an
annoying.
ounce is a 16th of a pound.
What? Okay. What's the obsession with imperial system with 1/8, 1/16?
That is a very good question.
What is up with that?
I do not know.
1/8 of an inch. 1/16th of an inch. 1/8 of a tablespoon. 1/16th of.
You haven't even heard about a stone yet.
Oh no! What else is this? No.
14 pounds. 14 pounds is equal to 1 stone.
Why the 14? Why? Huh?
I don't know. And 1 ton, 1 U.S. ton is 2,000 pounds.
Oh, but there's another metric ton different from the U.S. ton, and there's a British ton, I believe.
The Imperial ton is 2,240 pounds, and then the metric ton is 2,204 pounds.
They're just like, all right, let's roll a die and see what the numbers land on.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were that many kinds of tons, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I keep hearing when like watching shows on TV or something. This big boat right here measures around 20 metric tons or something. I'm like, why the metric? And I looked it up. And like, oh, there's a lot of tons.
There's actually
right,
a difference.
Of course. So annoying.
In educational videos they show in school, actually in size.
And then wait,
videos,
and then we have nautical miles, don't we?
Oh yeah, nautical miles.
Oh no!
Nautical
like a
miles.
miles for the land, but there's miles for the ocean. The nautical miles.
Yeah. So
one nautical mile.
1 mile is about 0.86896 nautical miles.
That's a very good and whole number. I love it.
Have we talked about how far a league is? A league is 5.556 kilometers.
Or 4 point. Wait, what? Why is it? Is the calculator I'm using wrong? Why is it different from your results? Wait a minute. How long was it for you?
3.45 miles.
Oh, miles. Okay, how about what how long is it in kilometers?
Kilometers. 5.55 kilometers.
That's weird.
One
It's telling
league.
me it's 4.82.
Well,
There
that's
must
even
be
weirder.
something wrong. Clearly, this person who made this website is a bit confused how to convert between metric and imperial
Yeah, they
measurements.
know what they're doing.
Yep.
I mean, and then to measure radioactivity, we sometimes use bananas as comparisons because bananas are slightly radioactive. So we're like, this nuclear explosion was about 60 billion bananas worth of radiation.
But why use I mean, I know they have a little bit of radiation, but 60 billion is a big. It's an unfathomable amount of number, right? Why not use like I don't know, worth like 4
Like
plutonium
6
cores or something
billion bundles of bananas. Am I right? Or maybe even
what's the
600
definition of
million
a
banana
bundle then?
trees.
Like how much bananas are in a bundle to be called a bundle of bananas?
10 bananas, obviously. But a New York second is the period of time when the traffic lights turn green and somebody behind you honking because you haven't started going yet.
Okay. Did you know? Did you know?
Uh-huh.
When 60 seconds passed in America, 1 minute passed in Indonesia.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's insane, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's like
time bending.
Whew. Did you know a pirate ninja is
Whoops. A pirate who?
pirate ninja? It's a unit of power.
Ninja's a pirate now? Okay.
Is 1 kilowatt-hour per Martian day, and it is about 40.5 watts.
Oh no. And then when we're talking like, standard international units, right?
Yeah.
At least we're using metric stuff because I would have been so confused if it's on Imperial, like insanely confused.
Yeah, watts.
Like as a Newton is like kilograms times meter per second squared. It's easy to remember rather than like I don't know pounds per foot per US second or something. Like it's gonna be so confusing.
Well, normally we use watts, which is metric system, I believe. Although
Yeah,
occasionally when it
but
comes to like cars, we use horsepower, which 1
ah
horsepower is about 550 foot-pounds per second.
yeah. Here you go again. Here you go again. Whose horse are we using? The king's horse? Your horse? That farm horse? Or this small horse? Or the baby horse? Or that horse right there? Or that horse right there you can see right there? Or this big horse? Or that small horse down below?
I don't know, but 1 donkey power is about a third of that. Did you know
Pain.
horses have about 15 horsepower?
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, so what? So that huh? So if huh? I'm sorry. Wait, if one horse has 15 horsepower, then that means one horsepower has 15 horse. Huh?
1 horsepower is a 15th of a horse.
Oh, one horsepower is a 15. Wait. Then if it's got to be a slow horse then.
Or a very frail horse. A 15th the strength of a normal horse.
Oh, but huh? Sorry, I'm just so confused. So
Power of the metric.
Cars were using horsepower, right?
Of course.
When they could have used
Not all the time, but
what? Yeah, but it's still so confusing. Like, oh, imagine that car. That car is pulled by 10,000 horses. I can't imagine that.
that's a lot of horses.
That's a lot of horses.
If it makes you feel better, we Americans do use the metric system for a few things.
Yeah,
watts. We use watts. We
Mhm.
also use millimeters for measuring ammunition and guns.
Yeah, the 9mm. But
Yeah.
luckily they don't use like the 3-inch pistol. You see, and
3-inch pistol.
the
That just sounds wrong.
the 54-foot Magnum. Wait, that's big actually. The 1-foot Magnum.
Maybe even a whole Mickey.
Maybe. Oh no! It's the problem is so inconsistent, right? Because how many miles are there?
How many miles are there?
Like how many? Like is there different miles?
Oh, how many kinds of miles? I'm like, you
Yeah.
do realize miles is a unit of distance, not it's not a quantity thing. There are 700 miles exactly.
It's also not the name of the guy named Miles. You know, it's a
Yeah,
different.
I have no idea
Okay, we
how
have a
miles came.
statute mile. You see,
A statute mile.
normally
Oh,
refers
okay.
to survey mile, about 3.219 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch longer than the international mile, which is exactly 0.002% less than the U.S. survey mile. I know nothing of that, but yeah, sure,
Do you have dozens?
we do, which is 12.
You sell eggs in dozens. Do you have baker's dozens though?
Ye- huh? I'm
A
sorry.
baker's
Another
dozen.
one, a different dozen.
Yeah. So a dozen
Okay.
is 12. Everybody knows that. Baker's dozen is 13 because the baker makes one more for himself.
Ah,
That's an actual measurement.
I think I've heard of this somewhere. I've heard of this somewhere. And we haven't even touched on football fields.
Ah,
Ah,
you mean soccer or American?
wait. Oh, right. There's two types of football, isn't there? I forgot.
You see, anything you say,
Uh,
Americans have a different version of everything. Like, we're just that cool.
you want football but play with your hands? We got one for you.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I always assumed it's because the football is the shape of someone's foot if they get stung by a bee.
Huh?
Yep.
No, 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 no.
It might just be
I
a foot
believe
long.
it's named football because in a game where you mainly use your hand, you kick it once. Maybe that's why.
That's true. You kick it occasionally.
Yeah, once every lifetime.
That is a fact.
Kick it once. And now it's in football. And then you have soccer, which is also football, mainly using your foot. I mean, you can use your head to like bounce the ball, but you mainly use your foot.
Yeah,
And that makes sense.
football is much
Football.
more accurate for soccer, like name-wise, than American football.
Yeah, if someone mentioned to me, I love that football show, I'm like, which football are we talking about here? The handball or the football?
If it was in the United States, you should always assume it is American football, running around in like your body armor with your football. Yeah, everyone's like,
Yeah, full body armor, ready to ram
we
people.
love the Beavers. Yeah.
Oh no!
Although
no.
if you're outside the U.S. and someone says football, you should assume they're going to be wearing like shorts and jerseys. And they're going to be kicking this little black and white ball, or actually a lot of balls are really colorful now. Around the field, and if someone bumps them, then they'll collapse to the ground and pretend they're dying. That's how you know which one
Yeah,
it is.
pretending to fall and like foul, yellow
No!
card,
Ouch!
beep. Just diving down there. Yeah, and football fields, right? If I open my old school books, like some of our school books are imported from American or
Yeah.
Singaporean or like basically other countries because clearly you guys know better about education than we do. But the problem is when we're like going to measuring stuff, right? And then it comes up football fields, and we're like,
Oh yeah.
right,
Or like the length of a
football
school bus.
fields. And then we use the length.
A giant squid is 2.5 school buses long.
Like, what standards of the school? Because we do have a school bus here, but it's like tiny, like not very big. So
Yeah, we have pretty big school buses.
yeah, like what school bus? Like and school buses are mostly I think are mostly free and government controlled.
Yeah, same
But
here.
there are some school bus
Or something like that.
that are for private college that
Yeah.
is my school doesn't have that, but it exists in some places.
I know a guy who owns a school bus.
Who's that?
It's just a family friend. He painted it black, but he owns one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like Miss Frizzle or something.
No, Miss Frizzle.
Do you know Miss Frizzle? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Magic
remember
School
that.
Bus. Let's
Magic
go.
School Bus. That was one of my favorite shows back in the day. My
Yeah,
God.
free fire.
And we're already starting to go off topic here. Oh no. But yeah, that measurements is confusing, especially if I'm doing like my physics project, right? Because like the teacher like sometimes asks us to do or like see the book for reference, and then also explains to us like how to do it. He explains to us, in a more brief and fast way. using the metric system.
Of course.
And then we look into the book, and it's the Imperial system. So
And you're like, no curses.
no curse, you Imperial system. It's like, oh, it's so annoying.
Americans.
We're so used to measuring with centimeters and like
Yes.
basically all the metric system. And okay,
Yeah.
we need to cut that cutboard into 3.5 inch, and then the width of 2/8 inch. How do you 2/8 inch again?
What is an inch?
Sometimes you just like fold it up. So fold it once, it's half. Fold it again.
Yeah.
Now it's yeah, that's about it. I think about measuring stuff. And then we also have, let's see, what Indonesian weird systems do we have? Let me look it up.
Have you heard of a fathom?
A what?
Fathom.
Oh, no. Why?
It's 1.8 meters.
Where did it come from?
A fathom, it's like they use it a lot in what's the word? Sailing. That's the word. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But
Oh,
they would go like they would have like really long ropes, and they would use it to measure the distance to the ocean floor. That's why you hear a lot of like fathoms in nautical terms. Like if you've seen The Little Mermaid, they have a song with like mysterious fathoms below, and that's why it's fathom.
oh, I see. Okay, I just looked it up. Apparently, we Indonesians also have weird systems of measuring before the metric system, you see.
Ah,
So, before the French and the colonization, which we can talk about in our topic, came to be in our country, we have a lot of questionable measuring system. For example,
of
length.
course.
We have hasta or depa. So hasta is how do I say this? It's like your lower arm's length before your fist, from your elbow.
Oh, your forearm.
Is that what it's called? English? I can speak English. Yeah, forearm definitely. Yeah, your forearm. That's one hasta, and then
Okay.
one hasta is a fourth of a depa, and
Oh well.
half of a depa is one kilan, which is length. Obviously, I
Yeah.
clearly know that.
Obviously.
And then for mass, we have one tile. One tile is 1/1600 picol, and then
Okay.
we have one kati. One kati is 1/100 picol,
Okay.
which is equals to one kabi, and not quite exactly, but one kulak is 0.0725 picol, and picol itself is half of an amat.
What is happening?
Oh no! And then we have kojang, which is used in Batavia or the old Jakarta in the colonization times. So we can talk again later.
Yeah.
One kojang is 27 picol, or around 1,667.555 kilograms.
Very precise.
As you do, yep.
Yeah, you like to see it.
And then we can measure opium. By the way, one T is one out of the 10th tile, and one chembang mata is 1/1000. I'm not even gonna bother reading the rest of these. My gosh, there's a lot. Every single part of our country has their own measuring system. Okay.
You are just like us. Oh yeah, the thing with the forearm.
Oh.
There's also a
These were a combination of Old Dutch and also the hundreds of kingdoms that existed before colonization.
oh, and you love learning about kingdom.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about kingdoms also in another episode, but my gosh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I can send you the Wikipedia link. Totally, Wikipedia is the most trusted source, obviously. And as you can see right here,
To be honest, yeah.
there's a lot. A real lot.
Ooh.
No. Oh, like there's
You have units
one
for precious
Java.
metals.
Yeah, one for Sumatra, one for, well, basically everything. Oh my gosh, they're like dry systems, liquid systems.
This is great.
I'm not sure I want to talk about measurement system anymore, Sid. So I think we should end that episode there. What do you think?
I think that first I need to say, there's also like span, which is from your elbow to your fingertips,
Oh,
roughly, and
okay.
uh, or that's a cubit, and then the span is the length of your hand, and then we use dishwashers as a sign of a volume. It's like 7 dishwashers. That's how big this hole is.
Okay.
Or things like that.
Very interesting.
Just things for you to stew on. But
Clearly.
thank you, listeners, for dropping by to listen to Crossing Borders. This has been Sid and Josh. Don't forget to grab your passports on your way out, and we hope to see you next time in episode 5, which is actually a special episode.
Special
So,
episode.
yeah, you guys look out for that
It's all right.
every 5th episode.
Bye
Bye.
bye.